boogeyman band coming round the bend. Is boogeyman band. Is boogeyman band.
Tribute.
Salesman.
Greetings, my fellow Fright Fiends, and thanks so much for dropping by the Horror Zone channel. I hope everyone's doing well. This is part 9 of my quiet little tribute of Salem's Lot series, and it is in dedication to the late, great Lance Kerwin. We lost Lance this week. He passed away on January the 24th at the age of 62. Not much is known about the cause of death, but it came as a real big shock to me and many of my friends that are huge fans of that original 1979 film or miniseries. My friend Russell Waggis, I want to thank him for making me aware that this happened. And Russell reached out to me yesterday when I was finishing up a work job. He sent me a message through chat, through Messenger, and said that he had heard that Lance Kerwin had passed away. And he was just thinking that it was just fake, it wasn't true. And I did a little research. Once he said that, I was just, it just prompted me to look up if there was anything online about it. I happened upon one article, and when I clicked into it, it said that he had died. And there was a link in the article to his daughter Savannah's Facebook page. And when I clicked on that, it took me to her page. Was a picture of the family. He had 5 children. It was a picture of the family, and pretty much confirmed what Russell and I had feared, that Lance had passed. Let my buddies Danny Evans and Sam Straub know what was going on. That wasn't easy. And then just everything, the people reaching out to me left and right about it, through Instagram and YouTube. Also, real quick, my buddy Danny that I just mentioned from Everything 101, he did an interview with Lance last year. Back in June of last year, he published it on the 25th of June. Link down below to that. It's a fantastic interview.
There's a guy named Ben Ottaviano who's a friend of ours. He has a YouTube channel called Boogeyman Ben, and I call him the horror master. But he wanted to know if did you incorporate any of your own characteristics and your own style into the portrayal of Mark Petrie?
Yeah, I think every actor has to do that. Just for them to own it, just for it to be real. They've got to put some of themselves into it. Hopefully not too much. I mean, we're not portraying Lance there. We're portraying Lance's version of Mark.
True.
And Toby Hooper and the makeup artist and the wardrobe and all of those that go into creating that character.
And one of the last interviews he gave. Yeah, this has been a tough one, and I've mentioned it as I've been doing this series. Pretty much everybody in this series, with the exception of George Zunza, is gone. And, the amount of people that are still left alive that either acted or helped make this film, it's getting smaller and smaller. And I was just really stunned that Lance left us like this at such a young age. And I know he had his problems. I'm not going to be talking about them in this video. This is to pay respect to him and respect to his family and his friends. Lance really meant a lot to me, and the character of Mark Petrie was one of the first characters I ever kind of idolized. I remember just being drawn to because he was a kid, and I was very young when I saw Salem's Lot for the first time. I remember elements of his performance the first time I watched it, but I really got into his character on the repeat viewings that I would do once the movie had shown up on cable TV and it was recorded for me. And I just was drawn to him because of his strength. It was something that I wasn't used to seeing, you know, a child in this horrific situation where, you know, his friends are turning into vampires, his parents are killed by the head vampire, and still he has the strength to go and confront this monster for what has happened. I love that about his character. I love that he was unapologetic for who he was, that Mark just knew who he was and never apologized for what he liked. But I also connected to the fact that he had this distance. There was this distance between him and his friends and his, especially his parents. Scenes that always stood out to me were when his parents are talking to him. I always felt like they were talking at him and not to him. And you see scenes where he's trying to connect to his dad. His dad picks up the handcuffs and goes, "Can you get out of these?" And he's like, "Easy, put them on me." And you just see like he's so excited that his dad has shown an interest in what he does. And it doesn't last long, but I always love that scene. And his dad questioning like why he likes what he likes, and he just says that, you know, he always has, it's just the way he is. He was his own person. I just thought, what a badass kid. And I think that's just why I just was so in awe of not only the character, but just Lance Kerwin's performance. And as standard with these tributes, I did do a little research on Lance Kerwin's career, his later years. I didn't want to focus on anything too personal about him, though, because that's not what this is about. We're here to celebrate the man, and I hope everyone enjoys this, and here we go.
Lance Michael Kerwin was born on November 6, 1960 and passed away on January 24, 2023. He was an American actor known primarily for roles in television and film during his childhood and teen years in the 1970s. He played lead roles in TV series James at 15 and the made-for-TV films The Loneliest Run and Salem's Lot. Kerwin was raised in Lake Elsinore, California. His father was an acting coach who brought home scripts for his son to read. His mother was also a performer, a talent agent. He was the youngest of 5 brothers. In the 1970s, Kerwin appeared in a number of made-for-TV movies and series. He was, said former theater critic and British Film Institute Governor John Holmstrom, probably America's leading boy actor of the late 70s, a handsome lad with considerable sensitivity as an actor. His serious acting roles often portrayed anguished characters facing difficult challenges such as The Loneliest Runner, The Boy Who Drank Too Much, and Children of Divorce. In 1985, he co-starred in The Snow Queen, a retelling of Hans Christian Andersen's classic tale, an episode of Shelley Duvall's children's television series Fairy Tale Theater, alongside Melissa Gilbert, Lee Remick, and Lauren Hutton. Kerwin had a daughter, Savannah Page, with Kristen Langsdale, and 4 children with his wife, Yvonne Kerwin. He gave up acting in the mid-1990s, but returned to the screen in 2022 for The Wind and the Reckoning, filmed in Hawaii. In July of 2010, it was reported that Kerwin was working as a pastor at Calvary Chapel in Kapa, Hawaii, and as a program leader at U-Turn for Christ, a drug and alcohol rehabilitation organization.
Now, the other thing I want to talk about is there is a small little article or interview with him in this book. This is just said, high budget horror, an interview with Lance Kerwin. This is done by Randy Wage. So the interviewer just starts out by saying, "I just watched Salem's Lot last night and you were good in it." And Lance answers, that was a lot of fun. It was a neat experience for me because it had a high budget for a TV produced movie. The director, Tobe Hooper, was the director of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. They worked at a feature film pace instead of a TV pace. I was primarily a TV actor, so it was a neat experience to work at that pace, to take your time and do it over. They let me be involved in blocking of some of the scenes and directing little second unit stuff. The interviewer asked, was that filmed in Los Angeles too? And Lance answers, it was filmed at Warner Brothers and then in Northern California as a place called Ferndale. The next question was, at the time, many kids considered that one of the spookiest movies they'd ever seen. And Lance answers, I had a lot of family in Hawaii at the time, and they're pretty tough over there. Some of those kids were sleeping in their parents' bed because they were scared by the movie. The interviewer asks, the boys hovering outside the windows, creepy stuff. Lance answers, it's really even hard to tell the flow of the film. It was a mini-series originally, then we shot a feature film version for Europe at the same time. They've edited and cut together so much. How many tapes did you watch? And the interviewer says, I watched the DVD and I think it was cut, edited down. What about David Soul of Starsky and Hutch fame? No singing on the set? And Lance answers, he was serious. He was trying to do a good job. He was into it. I remember he was like, all right, let's figure this out. He wanted to make sure his motivation was correct. He played the character straight and strict. And then the interview asks, what about James Mason? Lance answers, what an opportunity to work with him. He had a sense of humor nobody expected. He was funny. So like I said, really short little interview in this book by Tony Earnshaw, Studies in the Horror Film, Salem's Lot. So losing Lance is big. Very sad that another element of that film, somebody that really meant a lot to me, is gone. When someone passes away, for me, just the way that I process things, it's shock. It's shock at first. Doesn't seem real. And then slowly as the days go on, just the realization that that person's gone just sort of hits me. And that's what it's been like today. I listened to the Salem's Lot score driving home from the job last night, and just listening to certain cues, and then putting this video together and pulling the clips and rewatching some of these scenes that I've watched a billion times. But just seeing them now and knowing that Lance is no longer with us has really hit me hard. And, I'm saddened I never got to talk to him in person. I was lucky that my friend Danny was able to, ask him a question of mine during that amazing interview last year, that my friend Andrew was able to get his autograph, and it's personalized to me. It means a lot that I have that. And I'm just grateful that it seemed Lance sort of found his footing, and he was actually getting back into acting and going to these cons and interacting with fans. He seemed very, very happy. He just had a new movie he was in, his first movie since 1995. It was called The Wind and the Reckoning. Seeing pictures of people that met him at some of these cons that he had did last year, and seeing him interacting with the fans, or even interacting with my friend Danny, it was so awesome to see, because he just seemed really happy that so many people were interested in this film and his performance. It really warmed my heart seeing that, and I wish I could have been one of those people that told him how much his work meant to me. But like I said, I just wanted to do something kind of big for the late great Lance Kerwin. He really meant a lot to me, and my heart goes out to his friends, his family, everybody that cared about him, and may he rest in peace. And it's a sad day. So I just want to thank everyone for watching this, for taking the time to watch this and pay tribute to the late great Lance Kerwin. And I hope everyone's doing well, and I promise I'll talk to you again soon. So take it easy, stay scared as always, and remember, you can do nothing against the master. Peace.
Run!
I think they're dead, Father.
Run!
I'm going to kill you.
Hey fellow Fright Fiends, just want to say thank you again for supporting Boogeyman Ben's Horror Zone. If you're brand new to the channel and you haven't yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button down below, hit the bell notification so you're updated every time I drop a new video. I typically do this once or twice a week with new content. I've been doing this for over 11 years, and the horror genre is a passion of mine, and it really means a lot to me that I can share that passion with all of you guys. Thanks so much again for the support, and I'll talk to you again later. Take it easy, stay scared as always.